introduction to it. Enter the entire book of Exodus is a story of deliverance, a story of people who broke free from oppression and began a journey towards the good land that God has promised them. From beginning to end, Exodus teaches us how God brings us out of situations that keep us in bondage in order to take us into something better. Just as God prepared Moses to deliver Israel, he sent Jesus to be delivered. He sent Jesus to be our deliverer. Just as he led the Israelites with a cloud by day and a pillar of fire by night. God, instead of moving us instantly from one situation to the next. Just as the Israelites murmuring and complaining slowed them down, bad attitudes will also impede our progress in God. Let me read that one more time. I've lost my place. Just as the Israelites murmuring and complaining slowed them down, right? Bad attitudes will also impede our process in God. Just as he gave the Israelites 10 commandments as laws to show them how to live a blessed life, he has given us the Bible as a guidebook for our journey. Used the Israelites' journey to develop the faith, trust, strength, and character they would need in the promised land. He does the same for us in our journey. As you read Exodus and consider the ways of God is leading you out of any area of bondage or oppression, right? Determine that you will follow him faithfully. Keep a good attitude so that you can get where he wants to take you and enjoy the fulfillment of his promise in life. So let us read again. Okay, so this is Exodus 1. And here we go. Right. These are the names of the sons of Israel who came into Egypt with Jacob, each with his household. Reuben, Simeon, okay, Levi, Judah, Issachar. I'm gonna need help with these words. Zebulun, Benjamin, Dan, and Naphtali, Gad, and Asher, offsprings of Jacob, which was in the last chapter, or in the last book, where 70 persons, Joseph was already in Egypt. Then Joseph died, and all of his brothers, and all the generation. What? Then Joseph died, and all of his brothers, and all of that generation. But the descendants of Israel were fruitful and increased abundantly. They multiplied and grew exceedingly strong, and the land was full of them. Now a new king arose over Egypt, who did not know Joseph. He said to his people, "Behold, the Israelites are many and too mighty for us, and they outnumber us both in people and in strength. Come, let us deal shrewdly with them, lest they multiply more, and should war befall us, they join our enemies' fights against us, and escape upland. So they set over the Israelites taskmasters to afflict and oppress them with increased burdens, and the Israelites built Pitom, and Ramses as store cities for Pharaoh. But the more the Egyptians oppressed them, the more they multiplied and expanded, so that the Egyptians were vexed and alarmed because of the Israelites. And the Egyptians reduced the Israelites to severe slavery. They made their lives bitter with the hard service in mortar, brick, and all kinds of work in the fields. All their service was harshness and severity. Then the king of Egypt said to Hebrew midwives, to whom was named Sepharha, and the Pua. What's going on, guys? Hello, Rosemary. How you doing, hun? Cards of Cason. Howdy. Gina Gomez. What's up, Gomez? I'm Martinez. Well, actually, I'm Gordon, but just found out that I'm a Martinez. So, well, there's that. So now I'm going to read this little part here. It's a Joyce Meyer Bible. It's like the Everyday Bible. It amplified version. I don't know, whatever. So, when the Hebrew midwives had chosen between fearing God and obeying the orders of the king of Egypt, they chose the fear of God. They chose the fear of God. How will you respond when you are faced between with a choice between pleasing man and obeying God? Well, thank you for subscribing. You don't need to, but I certainly appreciate it. So how will you respond when you're faced with a choice besides pleasing man or God? Well, that is easy. However, sometimes we just can't please you guys, you know, or obey God. Well, if you obey God, then He's gonna bring the right people to you. You know, that's what He's gonna do. He's gonna take those jerks, quote unquote, and but here's the thing about that. It's like you can leave those jerks behind, and He will lead you away from those jerks and bring you somebody better, I think, nicer. You can't just please other people, because what's in it? Please somebody for just a little time. Okay, so you spread happiness and whatnot, but they're learning, if you please everybody in town, then they're learning that, you know, you're a doormat. So anyway, I'm going to keep reading. And I guess, oh gosh, so we're already on chapter 2, so I'll read the rest of chapter 1. I'll go back. But the midwives feared God and did not do as the king of Egypt commanded. But, wait, I think I must, yeah, I did. Hang on. When you act, wait, did hang on, people, hang on. Fine. Okay, when the king of Egypt said to the Hebrew midwives, for whom was named Zophar, and the other, I don't know. You can correct me if you want, it doesn't matter. When you act as midwives to the Hebrew women, and you see them on the birth stool, if it is a son, you shall kill him, but if it's a daughter, she shall live. But the midwives feared God and did not do as the king of Egypt commanded, but let the male babies live. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, so is this the part where he, like, the king of Egypt? Alright, anyway, okay. So, the king of Egypt called, but the midwives feared God and did not do as the king of Egypt commanded, but let the male babies live. So the king of Egypt called for the midwives and said to them, why have they done this thing and allowed the male children to live? The midwives answered Pharaoh, because the Hebrew women are not like the Egyptian women. They are vigorous and quickly delivered. Their babies are born before the midwife comes to them. So God dealt well with the midwives, and the people multiplied and became strong. And because the midwives revered and feared God, he made them households of their own. When Pharaoh charged all his people, saying, every son born to the Hebrews shall cast into the river Nile, but every daughter you shall allow to live. Maybe I read one more. Okay. Now, Aram, a man of the house of Levi, the priestly tribe, went and took his wife, Josabel, a daughter of Levi, and the women became and bore a son. And when they saw that he was exceedingly beautiful, she hid him 3 months. And when she could no longer hide him, she took him an ark or basket made of bulrushes or papyrus, making it watertight by daubling it with bitumen and pitch. Oh, wait a minute. When she put the child in it and laid it among the rushes by the brink of the river Nile. Oh, wait a minute. Okay. And his sister, I don't know. Miriam stood some distance away to learn what would be done to him. Now the daughter of Pharaoh came down to bathe at the river, and her maidens walked along the bank and saw the ark among the rushes and sent her maid to fetch it. When she opened it, she saw the child, and behold, the baby cried. And she took pity on him and said, this is one of the Hebrew children? when his sister, then his sister said, Pharaoh's daughter, shall I go call a nurse to the Hebrew women women to nurse the child for you? Pharaoh's daughter said to her, go, and the girl went and called the child's mother. Then Pharaoh's daughter said to her, take this child away and nurse it for me, and give it your wages. So the women took the child and nursed it, and the child grew. And the child grew, and she brought him to Pharaoh's daughter, and he became her son. Is this Moses? Yeah, okay, and she called him Moses. Woo! All right, Moses. So I need to, because I drew him out of the water one day after Moses was grown, it happened that he went out to his brethren and looked at their burdens, and he saw an Egyptian beating a Hebrew, one of Moses' brethren. He looked this way and that way, and when he saw no one, he killed the Egyptian and hid him in the sand. Whew, yikes. Oops. He went out the second day and saw two Hebrew men quarreling, fighting. And he said to the unjust aggressor, why are you striking your comrade? And the man said, well, why did you just kill that guy? No. Who made you prince and judge over us? Do you intend to kill me as you killed that Egyptian? Right. When Moses was afraid and thought, surely this thing is unknown, right? When Pharaoh heard of it, he sought to slay Moses, but Moses fled from Pharaoh's presence and took refuge in the land of Midian, where he sat down by a well. Now the priest of Midian and 7 daughters, and they came and drew water and filled the troughs to water their father's flock. I just lost my place. When Pharaoh heard of it, he sought to slay Moses, but Moses fled the Pharaoh's presence and took refuge in the land of Midian, where he sat by a well. Now the priest of Midian had 7 daughters, and they came and drew water to fill the troughs to water their father's flock. The shepherds came and drove them away, but Moses stood up and helped them water their flock. And when they came to Reuel, Jethro, their father, he said, how is it that you have come so soon today? They said, an Egyptian delivered us from the shepherds as he drew the waters for us and watered the flock. He said to his daughters, where is he? Why have you left them? You left the man. Call him, and that he may eat bread. And Moses was content to dwell with the man. And he gave Moses Zipporah his daughter, and she bore a son. And he called his name Gershom. Or a stranger there. For he said, I have been a teenager and a sojourner in a foreign land. However, after a long time, nearly 40 years, the king of Egypt died, and the Israelites were and the Israelites were singing and groaning because of the bondage. They kept crying and their cry became slavery, a sin to God. And God heard their sighing and groaning and earnestly remembered his covenant with Abraham, with Isaac, and with Jacob. God saw the Israelites and took knowledge of them and concerned himself about them, knowing all the understanding, remembering all. Well, now we're on chapter 3. To hear clearly from God, you need to be willing to live on holy ground, a life of purity, and that means keeping your thoughts in line with God's word. Remember that Jesus said the pure heart would see God. And that's just another point, but so we'll stop at Exodus 3. So that was pretty interesting. All right. What's going on? So Exodus is mainly about how God can take us out of hardship and rough situations and put us into something better. And I'm totally down for that too, bro. So, today we're at another campground. I can see it. It's kind of dark out there now. I will take you on a virtual tour tomorrow. But I leave Friday and I'm headed towards another campground. Hang on. Green Mountain Park, because I had to change all my schedules and stuff like that. Well, what's going on, you guys? Let's see. Let me go to Europe. 13 years. Well, Gina, I will. Hang on. How do I? Ear. How do I do that? Oh well. I will definitely give you a subscribe back. A sub back, bruh. Anyway. So I appreciate you guys coming around. So now we're gonna work on the blankie. We're gonna work on the blankie. I'm getting pretty far. Oh my god. It's getting pretty pink, white. Now I'm getting tired of seeing pink. But and then we'll get into whatever. Okay. So thank you guys for stopping by. And tomorrow, come on by again tomorrow. We're gonna go around and walk around the campground, and I'm gonna show you all the sights and stuff like that. So it'll be fun, all right? So anyway, thank you guys for stopping by, and remember next time, bring your Bibles and we'll do a little studying. You know, a little studying, a little reading of a chapter here and there is always good, right? Doesn't matter what you believe. Just read something, right? Cool. All right. Well, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for stopping by.